bed without any knee or back pain screaming at you, or walk down a flight of stairs without groaning. Well, if it's in the
Yo.
get to the front of it and give
What's up,
QC
brother?
Kinetics a call. It's time to call them and
Word.
consultation with these medical
raring to
pros at
go.
QC Kinetics. There are thousands of patients who will tell you they wish they would have done it sooner. They turned around their lives with QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments that work with your body to help restore and repair damaged joint tissue. These are natural cellular therapies, no scalpels, no pills, just long-term relief with no dreaded recovery. You bring your x-rays, bring your MRIs to QC Kinetics for that free, no-pressure chat, and they'll give you that evaluation to see if you're a good candidate. Worst case, you learn something. Best case, you get your life back. Grab the phone right now. Give them a call. 860-440-PAIN. And chances are they're close to you, too. They're in Avon. They're in New Haven. They're in Glastonbury. And that phone number, one more time, to get that free consultation with QC Kinetics at 860-440-PAIN.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer,
1 minute.
dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business. Dedicated to
Call
serving
1
people
Freedom.
50
Visit
and up. Like me.
consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/life. That's ethos.com/life.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
Hey, yo! Hey, shh. Calm down. The show is about to start. Reese on the radio. Turn it up. Turn it up loud. Turn it up loud.
It's like a dream come true.
Turn on your radio. Reese's on the radio.
Yo, let's get it.
Due to the nature of this program, discretion does not exist. It's Reese on the radio. Right now on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hello! What's going on? All right, enough already. I've got so many well wishers. They're hollering at me. It's Reese on the radio on WTIC News Talk 1080. I want to say thank you. And you're welcome, all at the same time, because I want to say thank you for everybody who has sent me a well wish on Facebook and sent me a private message saying happy birthday to me. In fact, Don, who sent me a message that said happy birthday, BERF day, happy birthday. Look at that. Even Rama just did it. Birthday broadcast. Yeah, I take no days off, ladies and gentlemen. No days off. I want to thank you, and I want to say you're welcome, because that's what we do. What the greatest day on earth was August 14th, 1969, the day before Woodstock, when God graced the world with this fine specimen. I tease, I make fun of it. In fact, Janine's son, his birthday's today, and happy birthday to him as well. I told Janine that he should run around and tell people, you're welcome. Every time somebody says happy birthday to him, he should say, you're welcome. When my youngest, Ethan, he's so adorable. I got to find an old picture of him. It's such adorable. Like, every person who ever saw that kid when he walked by was like, oh, my God, he is so adorable. And when he got old enough and he really, really got snarky at about 8 or 9 years old, I told him what would really be a great way to respond when somebody said that he was so adorable. He should look at them and say, You're a very wise person. His mother hated that. I just thought it was funny. Yes, no days off, Nick. Thank you. Thank you. Craig in the car, L.A., all the way out in Cleveland. Yeah, I know. That's L.A. is all the way out in Cleveland. That's I've got a couple of friends like that. You know, Dallas is from St. Louis. Yeah, I got a lot of friends like that. I got a friend named, it's funny. I got a friend named Dallas who's from Buffalo. That's a very true story. So I got plenty of news and plenty of views to get into today. And, of course, we're taking your phone calls at 860-522-WTIC, 860-522-9842. And I feel like this monologue is going to be almost a regurgitation of another conversation we had at the opening of the show. But election season has begun in the Nutmeg State. And the attention is going to be on Republicans running for governor. And as you know, Ellen Stewart and Ryan Fazio are running. And it begs the question, and let me be the first to tell you, I get it. It's low-hanging fruit because I know what I'm going to hear is complaints all day, every day about this until the election happens. And that is going to be, you are not satisfied with these two individuals as the front runners. I get it. I get it, and I understand it. I don't have to like it, though. Let me tell you something. I ain't got to like it. And it's not like to say that doesn't mean that what you believe or how you feel about this doesn't have merit. I don't want to get anybody get that impression. And that's not me walking a thin line. I'm being honest. I don't think my opinion is superior to yours on this. However, I need to give some perspective. The old saying goes, if I'm articulating it correctly, do not, what was it? Don't suffer the good for the perfect. Something along that line. Somebody will remind me. I'm sure Fred will call in and remind me. Something along that line. I know that they're not the greatest candidates. But then again, who is? Many people might remember, although they're very Trumpian today, we're hedging on his nomination. Oh, this is a joke. Are you serious? Is he serious? You were probably like me. Trump wasn't on my, no. In fact, my former wife, Mary, has been on this show. A lot of you know her out there who listen to this program. She used to do a podcast with me. And we're still cool to this day. That woman voted for Barack Obama and then Mitt Romney. And she was the first person in my family, immediate family, who was on the Trump train before he announced. I was a Ted Cruz guy. I said, there's no way I'm getting behind this guy. But as the momentum grew, and don't forget, this was a guy who was polling at about 2%. Anybody remember that? Jeb Bush was already the presumptive nominee. When Jeb Bush got into the race, he had $90 million in his coffers. He was the heir apparent, legacy nomination. People thought that there was nothing realistic about Trump. People started following the mantra of folks in MSNBC and CNN. This guy's not serious. They were laughing at him everywhere. And some people on the right joined in. We can't take this guy seriously. Then things started to change. He would say stuff, and people would be like, yeah, I think I like this guy. I'll never forget when I said it to my ex-wife, Mary. All right, Mary, if Donald Trump wins the South Carolina primary, I got to dump Ted Cruz. I don't know if he's going to do it, but if he can win South Carolina, I think I got to go. And the rest is history. I've been there ever since. And here we are. Fazio, Stewart, and there's a problem. Let's address them. Let's talk about Fazio. In an article that came out September 22nd, 2024, almost a year ago, ask Greenwich Senator Ryan Fazio about anything except Trump. This is the problem that people have with Fazio. Is it a big problem? Yes. Of course it is. And no matter what he does at this point, he can't really get the endorsement or the backing of Trumpian folks because it would seem strategic and to many of them dishonest if all of a sudden he were to say, no, I support the President of the United States. He can't go back in time. In 2024, it was incumbent on Republicans to be all in. The stats say that Donald Trump is in the high 90s when he endorses you. But if you ignore him and if you're unafraid, run around afraid of him, Trumpian folks are going to be suspicious of you. And in Connecticut, boy, you couldn't be more dire for you if you don't endorse Donald Trump. If you play that little game, say one little silly thing, try not to associate yourself to him, forget about it, you will draw their wrath. And it's fair because he's the President of the United States. And people have to ask you, what are you afraid of? Or who do you support? As I was saying that, I was thinking about that scene in Austin Powers. Who does number 2 work for? That's what I'm thinking about that. I think that people are legitimate in their apprehension about where you stand. And in a picture that I saw not too long ago, you can't be seen shopping for greeting cards with the other side. You just can't do it. You can't. I get the idea of partisanship and bipartisanship and going along and getting along and, I don't hate the other guy and blah, 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 blah. I get it. But you can't be seen doing that. You can't. People don't trust it, especially when you're trying to steer clear from the leader of the Republican Party. He is, like it or not, he is. You don't sound like you're on board. You don't sound like you got them in mind. It sounds like you are skating or you're trying to ride that thin little line, that tightrope. Well, I like some of his policies, but I'm not all in. Thinking you could play both sides. Perhaps you'll get a couple of Democrats to find you to be an acceptable Republican. Yeah, he's not all bad. But that's a problem. And it's a problem for Republicans in Connecticut. Can I tell you how I would play it? It's real simple. You don't have to apologize for Donald Trump. You're a grown man and you are a grown woman. If everyone wants to tie you to Donald Trump, you should push back and ask why. What does Donald Trump have to do with my campaign? Do I support him as the president and our leader? Absolutely. But tell me why it's so important that I need to align myself with Donald Trump as a candidate. Are you trying to make some hay that says that I'm like him? The man ran 3 times. The man seems to have grown his electorate. We see that the man has gained with Hispanics. He has gained with African Americans across the country. He won in every district. He increased his electorate. What are you trying to suggest about Donald Trump that associates with me? Are you trying to hamper or kneecap my campaign because that's how you're going to write it inside your little newspapers that no one reads? Is that what you're going to try to do? You want to align me with Donald Trump because you think that's going to make people's lives better? Do you believe that I would be the person that would perhaps propose some of the things that a Josh Elliott would do? Like become more progressive, raise more taxes on people, drive more rich folks and wealthy folks out of the state? When I look at Donald Trump, I look at Donald Trump as a guy who cares about every man and the working man, especially the working man that Democrats forgot. Yeah, so if you're asking me if I'm down with Donald Trump, you're damn right I am. I'm down with Donald Trump when it comes to taking care of our citizens and making sure that they don't have to rely on the Ivy League schools, that they can possibly get a trade. I believe in safety in our streets and punishing criminals. What do they want to do on the other side? Find out the root cause for murder? I would start embracing things that Donald Trump has been effective. He should reflect that. If the news media wants to make your campaign about Trump, call them out on it to their faces. Make sure that you record every interview that you have with them, especially if it's print media. And then when they print that garbage about you, that you know will be slanted to help the other side, post said interview. Post the exchange that you have with them, that when you push back, so that people can see that you push back on that media. They're going to love it. They will applaud you. They will see that you are different. They will see that you are not playing a role, in that you are authentic. People will see you for who you truly are, that you're exposing the nonsense, the corruption, the lies. And make it a campaign going after the things that you know are hurting the state. Don't let anybody dictate what your campaign is. You see, this article shows, and I don't know at whose behest it was, but this campaign showed that there are people who are in charge of campaigns that know nothing about how to run them. When you have to shy away from talking about certain things, that's the biggest problem people have with elected office, is that they don't talk about real things. They lie. They shy away. They misdirect. That's not how authenticity works. Running away from conversations are what liberals do. Running away from real conversations. Straw man arguments, that's what liberals do. And if you're not one of them, don't act like them. You see, you understand why Lamont wins. You understand why Blumenthal and Murphy win. You know why they win. It isn't because they tell the truth. It isn't because they're on the up and up. It's because they lie, and they're allowed to. Remember that. They're allowed to lie without pushback. Stop waiting for everybody else to dictate your campaign. Dictate your campaign. You better embrace what works. You know, I was thinking about Rush today, as I always do. When I do this thing, I always kind of remind myself, it's like, wow, you're doing what Rush did. Kind of like a kid. And Rush said something a long time ago about Sarah Palin and terrorism. And the way that he made that connection, I thought was brilliant. I want you to consider this, Republicans, especially those of you running for elected office. After September 11th, Washington started asking itself, what did we do to make the terrorists hate us? That was the way that they reacted to people who tore down those buildings, who attacked us on September 11th, 2001. What did we do that made them hate us? And Rush Limbaugh asked the question, why do they do that? Why? Because Democrats believe if we continue with Islamophobia, we'll only radicalize more of them. that if we talk about Islam in a negative way, more of them will be radicalized and they'll want to attack us more. And we need to do what we can to salvage our relationship with them so they'd stop attacking us. And Donald Trump said, why don't they feel that way about Sarah Palin when they attack her every day? Why aren't they screaming to the rafters? Why can't we stop going after Sarah Palin's supporters? We're only going to grow her support. They never seem to think that way when it comes to Republicans, do they? So why are you? Why are you doing it? It doesn't make sense because it doesn't make sense. I got more on this when we return. Stand by. Don't go anywhere. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Attention Southern New England HVAC and mechanical contractors. Eagle Rivet is your trusted roofing partner for professional roof penetrations and flashing. We ensure your customers' roofs remain watertight during installations, protecting their warranties. We also offer complimentary roof inspections to identify potential issues before any HVAC work begins. Call Eagle Rivet today at 860-953-1231 or visit us online at eaglerivet.com. That's EAGLERIVET.com. Eagle Rivet is proud to support rebuilding together Hartford.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar. Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In 23 while supplies last.
Men, the summer is here. Longer days, warmer nights, and romance is in the air. Intimate dinners, walks on the beach, dancing in the moonlight. But if you have erectile dysfunction, you know it can ruin romance, both for you and the one you love. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health. And if you have ED, don't let another summer go by without getting treated, because intimacy is one of the greatest things in life. And fear of not being able to perform should not be something you have to deal with. At Northeast Men's Health, we're ED experts. We've successfully treated tens of thousands of men. Our protocols work when others don't, and we have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. You could even last up to an hour or more and perform like you haven't in years. So call us. Your initial appointment is only $99 and includes blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you, including our new office in Warwick, Rhode Island.
And now, a WTIC news update.
85 degrees at 2:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High up to 90 this afternoon. Possible thunderstorm. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. President Trump meets with Vladimir Putin tomorrow in Alaska.
The goal is to find a way to end the war against Ukraine. Expectations are high for this face-to-face summit, even as the White House has sought to describe it as more of a discussion that may or may not lead to future talks. Ukraine's President Zelensky will not be at the meeting, but the president suggests it's possible he'll be part of a second meeting, assuming all goes well with the Putin discussions.
CBS's Linda Kenyon. The Kremlin says Putin plans to expand the talks to include nuclear arms control and U.S.-Russia economic links. The state DOT and Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz are calling for drivers to pay more attention to bicycles. 6 bicycle riders have died in the state this year, already exceeding the annual totals for the previous 4 years. The lieutenant governor's brother recently survived a hit-and-run bike crash. A development that would build nearly 70 apartments at the corner of Route 44 and Scarborough Street in Hartford gets shot down by the Greater Hartford Flood Commission. The 3-acre property is near the Park River. Commission Chair Mike McGarry is concerned a flood would take cars from the complex's parking lot and block the river from flowing in a tunnel beneath downtown.
The riverbank trees could drop in, cars could drop in, anything could drop into the river and get stuck where it goes underground. When the river goes underground, there are big barriers there, so things won't go in. if trees and cars and whatever else would go up against that barrier, the flood would start at Farmington Avenue, and God knows where it would go.
It's expected the developers will sue over the decision. On Wall Street, U.S. wholesale prices rose much more than expected in July, 0.9% from June, the biggest monthly increase in 3 years. The Dow is down 97 points, S&P dropping 9 points, the NASDAQ down 34. And your WTIC forecast.
Very warm and humid out there this afternoon with a mix of sun and clouds. Highs about 85 to 90 degrees, but the heat index more like 90 to 95. And there is the chance for a shower or thunderstorm in a few spots as we go through the rest of the day and this evening. During the overnight, it'll turn partly cloudy to clear. We'll see a decrease in the humidity and lows in the mid to upper 60s. Friday looks mostly sunny, pleasant, highs in the low to mid 80s. Partly cloudy Friday night, maybe some patchy fog late at night, lows in the low to mid 60s. The weekend's looking pretty good, mostly sunny Saturday, highs in the mid to upper 80s. It'll be hot and humid Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds, chance for a late thunderstorm, the high near 90. I'm meteorologist Bob Cox in the WTIC Weather Center.
85 degrees now. Sports, the Mets home for Atlanta. The Yard Goats home to play Harrisburg. Fairfield won its opener at the Little League World Series and will play Honolulu in the winner's bracket tomorrow, 7 p.m. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Maker. WTIC 1080 News.
Now at McDonald's, wake up with a warm sausage McMuffin with egg for $3 and add any size iced coffee for just $1.29. During breakfast hours only, price and participation may vary.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce is complicated. It affects every part of your life, your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce and the unexpected directions that it can take, it's times like this that you need a partner you can count on.
If you're a man facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today to connect with a local divorce attorney who understands the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text TOUGH99 to 323232. TOUGH 99 to 323232. TOUGH99 to 323232. Jenna Heiler, licensed in Connecticut. CordellCordell.com.
Did you hear? A recent stash of $10 gold Liberty coins from the 1800s has been found. These gorgeous gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck in the late 1800s, and less than 200 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Call 1-800-969-0686 and you are guaranteed a $10 gold Liberty coin minted by the U.S. Mint in the 1800s. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These gold Liberty coins from the 1800s are still in uncirculated condition. That is history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-969-0686. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-969-0686 now to secure your $10 gold Liberty coins dated from the 1800s before they sell out. That's 1-800-969-0686.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area.
Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
1 minute.
Have you
Thanks,
ever
sir.
felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Keep WTIC News Talk 1080 with you all summer long for the information you need. Weather forecasts from Bob Cox help you plan your summertime activities. Taking a trip? Mark Christopher's traffic reports will get you there without the hassle. Plus, up-to-the-minute news reports twice an hour. No matter where you go, listen on the Odyssey app and stay informed with what's going on back in CT. Because when you're on vacation,
Here we go.
WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hello, it's Phil Steele, one of the sons of WTIC's Bob Steele. Happy birthday, WTIC News Talk 1080.
No, absolutely not.
I know that's the one you love the most.
No. Okay, I appreciate it coming from you, Roland, but I will tell you, let me tell you something.
I know that's your favorite one.
Let me tell you this. I got to tell you this about that. So, again, talking about Mary. Mary just called me a little while ago before the show to wish me happy birthday. We always do. Her birthday is on the 1st, my birthday on the 14th. We've got a lot of family and, expanded family. Everybody's in August. Even the boys on July 31st. Every year she calls me to tell me happy birthday. She sings that song.
I know.
The Stevie Wonder version of Happy Birthday, to which I immediately reject. I say, please stop singing me someone else's birthday song. And she goes, what do you mean? It's not someone else's birthday song. It's the so-called Black birthday anthem. And I go, no, it isn't. It is not. It is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday song. The song's about him. His name is all over it. It's about celebrating his birthday. It's not, but everybody sings it, especially in urban communities. They start singing, and I go, I reject it. I reject singing somebody else's birthday
I remember
song.
you. I remember before you sang.
I know.
That's not your song. That's why I was like, I'm gonna get them.
Everybody plays it. They know that I'm really particular about that. But I'm actually stunned that Laura hasn't sent me my usual birthday wish, and that is this my birthday gift, which is this song that's got everybody's name on it, but everyone has an independent one to their own name for happy birthday. I'll probably play it later. We're just
5'6", huh?
5'6", yeah, absolutely.
5'6".
5'6". I'm excited about it. I'm not as excited as I was about being 55, but
yeah, double nickel's different though.
Yeah, it is different. It should be.
That's a different feeling.
Thank you, Rob.
It's like 22, 44, 33.
Yeah.
Those double numbers.
I used to make a big deal out of that. Like, my next big birthday is the big 6-0, and I, of course, I'm doing everything I can to make sure I get there, right and exact.
We got to do a Reese on the Radio 60th cruise.
Ooh, a cruise?
Yeah, 60th cruise, and invite 100 of your favorite callers. That would be a good 60th for you.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll think about that.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good idea. That's actually a pretty good idea. I'm not sure about sailing the 7 seas, but whatever. Yeah, Rama says, my mom and sister love that version. I do not. Not a fan. Absolutely. Rob says, happy birthday, brother. Keep up the good fight. You know I will. Lori says, happy birthday as well. And I thank everyone. I hope that is in Polish, Sokolowski. So if that is, thank you. And I appreciate you. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the gubernatorial race. Ryan Fazio, Senator Ryan Fazio, and Mayor Aaron Stewart have jumped into the race. And I was saying before we went to a break, that there are so many people on the Republican side, especially in Connecticut, who are afraid to align themselves with Donald Trump, thinking that that's the only thing that they could do. I remember Johanna Hayes making that case in her congressional run with what's his face? I'm sorry. Forgive me if I forget his name. I know he was on the show back in the days. Not that I care. But there was this fear of having to align yourself with Donald Trump. And I don't understand why. Maybe, and I say this all the time, you should listen to this show. Because I make a strong argument for Donald Trump without apology. And I make not only just a strong case, but I bat down the naysayers as well. When they come and they ask me a question about this, that, and the third, I'm not hiding behind, some ideological tent going, oh, I'm afraid that they're going to ask me. I know what they're going to ask. I'm ahead of the curve. If I'm paying attention, which I kind of feel like if you were trying to distinguish yourself from Donald Trump, you've got a bigger problem. That you think you have to distinguish yourself from Donald Trump. That is a made-up case. The news media is trying to make the case that you are aligned with Donald Trump. That is called narrative building. And if you don't know how that works, you can't be in politics. You have to push back on the narrative building of the news media. Stop thinking they make or break you. They don't. They have absolutely fallen out of favor with the American public. Connecticut, too. That counts. You have to make your case. And again, you have an outlet. If these people want to interview you on the record, let them know they are on the record. That's how you push back. It's that simple. If you're always concerned about how someone's going to frame your argument, frame your argument the way that you're supposed to do it. Don't run away from your statement or wonder how you're going to structure it. And folks, for you political consultants out there, listen to me. Listen to me. If you don't have a track record of winning, shut up. And I know that's probably offensive to you. Don't care. Shut up. You don't have a track record of winning. You've got nothing to beef about. You got nothing to complain about. You got nothing to be sad about if you suck at your job. You may be popular and everybody might know you. He runs a pretty good campaign. Are you a winner? No? Shut up. Work with winners, folks. Work with winners. And if you can't get winners, win anyway. If people start telling you what you can't do, you don't need them. You don't need them. If you've got a vision and people say, well, you really can't do that, ask them why. Tell them to give you empirical evidence that it doesn't work. Well, we've known or we've seen. Seen what? I've done this dozens of times before. Have you won? Well, we didn't. Shut up. Now, why am I talking like this? I got to be honest, folks. Let's be honest. I'm a winner. You wouldn't know. Because I'm not running out here telling everybody on the campaign trail, hire me. I'll get you nominated. I just get people nominated. And a lot of people know me, and a lot of people have. And I never took a dime from them. I believed in their campaign. I didn't even work. I wasn't even part of the board. I just told them what they needed to do. And they won. They took my advice. I never asked for credit, and I never run around saying I did this and I did that. I'm a winner. And I'm in it for what's really valuable. And that's our country. When these guys win, when these guys know how to win, they do all the bidding I need them to do. Represent their constituents in a way that is consistent with my way of life. And the rest of these guys who are just collecting paychecks and resume building, shut up. If you are telling your candidate, don't talk about the President of the United States, who has the Senate and the Congress, who is kicking behind all day, making Democrats look like fools, singing Kumbaya outside of the Capitol building. You can have our town, Trump. You can have our Trump. When he is literally reducing the Democrat Party into acts of terrorism with burning Teslas and attacking police and ICE. You're concerned about aligning yourself with Donald Trump? When you know that the American people align themselves with the Republican Party when it comes to crime, you're worried about what the media might say to you about you aligning yourself with Donald Trump?
But how does it break down by party?
Yeah, okay. So I think that this is, we're talking about Donald Trump here, right? So I think it's very important to know that this isn't just about Donald Trump. It's about Republicans versus Democrats, right? And that, of course, is a key question going into next year's midterm election. I think the party closest to your views on crime, look, in 2023, Republicans were favored by 13 points. Look at where they were in May of this year. Republicans were actually favored by 16 points. They actually gained ground on crime. They were maintaining their edge and actually added a little bit to it. So Republicans in the House, Republicans in the Senate, they absolutely want to be talking about crime. The more they feel that we're talking about crime, the better they feel that the electoral landscape is for them.
Do you need more? I've got more. I've got plenty more. Think about who you're aligning yourself with, and then look at who it is that they have to align themselves with. They've got to align themselves with the like of Jasmine Crockett. They have to align themselves with people like Zoran Mamdani. You think that Trump is the problem? You've got a guy who's aligning themselves. I mean, I've got a story today that is going to blow your ever-loving mind. You were worried that Democrats were not supporting Zoran Mamdani. Well, that's about to change. With the story that I have today, you are never going to believe this. And it was in the New York Times of all places. That is all about to change. If you're concerned about aligning yourself with Donald Trump, when we get back, when you hear in the headlines today, who's supporting Zoran Mamdani and how every Democrat's going to go online, you will be begging to align yourself with Donald Trump. Don't go anywhere. More news, more views. We'll get to your phone calls. I can't take the Barros today because I got to be fair, because unless I get his challenger on here, I can't bring him on every day. We'll talk to him later. But stick around. We'll be back. More news, more views. Don't go anywhere. It's Reese on the Radio. It's my birthday. It'd be rude for you to leave. It's WTIC NewsTalk 1080.
Life can be unpredictable at times, but you shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of someone else's negligence. If you've been in an accident or work-related injury and it's not your fault,
who is that on the
you need
hotline?
a lawyer who knows how to get you the fair and just compensation.
Tom O'Hanlon.
And
Oh, is that Tom
our team
O'Hanlon?
of personal injury lawyers have
That's
over
right, I got
100
him
years
today.
of combined experience. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Call us at 860.
He says happy birthday.
Oh,
or visit
that's nice of him.
bpslawyers.com. Bruce Newman is responsible for the content of this ad.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia
That's his
caused by
name.
certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888
Holy smoke,
or visit
Michael.
capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Wesley Financial Group, firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-311-9595. That's 800-311-9595.
At California Psychics, we know that sometimes you can wake up thinking,
I don't know if I'm in the right career, or the right relationship.
but whatever your life dilemma, at California Psychics, we'll give you the guidance you need to feel certain about your life choices. And because we only connect you with the very best, we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. California Psychics. Call 1-800 today and get 20 minutes for just $20.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Thank you, Tom O'Hanlon. And I'd like to give a happy birthday to Mike O in the chat room. Happy birthday to you, Mike. Now, Mike, I got to tell you this. This is a first time for me. I have never met anyone in my entire life. I've never met anyone who shared my exact birthday, August 14th, 1969. So it is very special for me to meet somebody who was born on that very special day. It is an important day. Your mom missed Woodstock because of you. I want you to know that. I have to be reminded by my mother as well. You know, who knows what would have happened if our moms had showed up in Woodstock, New York. But thankfully, the Lord gave our moms us. So you should be very grateful. It's the greatest day in the world, August 14th, just letting you know. Don't forget, we share a birthday. We share a birthday with some pretty iconic individuals, one of which I'm not a big fan of, but whatever. You know, she's a beautiful woman. Not that I don't care for her, but I don't really have an opinion. I'm indifferent, okay? We share a birthday with Halle Berry. We share a birthday with Magic Johnson, which, of course, explains our athleticism. And this one I cherish because I'm funny, just like this man, who's also celebrating a birthday today. Steve Martin's birthday is today, which I always believe this, and I say it every year during my birthday, that I always look at my birthday as a reflection of the people who share the birthday, like famous people. So I always try to find a little bit about myself in those iconic people who are born at that same day. And last but not least is a guy that I learned to love after reading an article about him back in 2009. And I didn't know much about him, but then I got to know him, and I'm a huge follower of his, great respect for him. And that is former football player, former Florida Gator, Tim Tebow, shares my birthday. Oh, and so does Wayne Corbett of the New York Jets. I totally forgot about him. And he's my favorite wide receiver of all time. So those are the people who we share a birthday with, Mike. So just to let you know, if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure you did. If you're like me and you were born on August 14th, you've got that ego thing going on where, you would probably look that up yourself. But I figured I'd share that with you. Let me take one phone call before I go to top of the hour and get some news from who's in for John Silva. Dave Mager.
No
right?
news right now.
Oh, no. Dave Mager's coming up at 3 o'clock. I just wanted to get the name right. Okay, let's go to Wes in Glastonbury. How are you, Wes?
Good. Happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
Can you talk about what's going on in Texas, the whole zoning thing? And I just want to give my opinion. Yes, I am a Republican, but I don't think women should be allowed to be involved in politics. And
you mean when you say, hold on, when you say not involved in politics, do you mean voting or being elected officials?
Oh, let me finish what I was going to say. If they are allowed to vote, men's vote is worth 2 points because we are required for selective service.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds eerily like the 3/5 law, but okay. It's your opinion. The Texas situation. No, it's your opinion. The Texas thing, what's the most I can say about it? It's legal under the law. Donald Trump asked for it. He didn't violate any constitution, even Texas, much less the Constitution in doing so. And this is something that Democrats have done forever. I'm not sure exactly what the beef is other than a manufactured outrage by the media. So it's a non-story to me, which is why I've ignored it. It seems like people are what we call putting a 10 on a 2, making it an issue when everybody knows, looking at Illinois, looking at California, Connecticut even. There's no Republican representation in any meaningful way in the way in which Democrats gerrymander. Why they have a beef now makes no sense, and it looks embarrassing for them to even bring up.
And isn't Gavin Newsom trying to do the same thing?
Of course he is, but for what? Is he trying to make California more blue? I mean, in my view, go ahead, Gavin. I'm pretty sure that making it more blue will definitely get more and more people to come back to the state. He's already hemorrhaged so many people in California, he lost an electoral vote, an electoral college vote. That's how well he's run that state. So, yeah, gerrymander it even more. Go nuts. I mean, what else can you say? I mean, hasn't he? I mean, that is the absolute fact. He burned down the city of Los Angeles because of his mismanagement. He's mismanaged it to the point that Hollywood can't work there anymore. You had the Avengers movies when they were good coming out of California. They left and went to Georgia. Georgia, right? Why?
Too small there. Whoever is there, stay there. You don't need to spread your disease.
But you're 100% right. But that's the whole point I'm saying, is that Gavin Newsom right now as a presidential candidate is polling in 3rd, maybe 4th place. He's being outdone by the likes of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, who may very well be the dumbest woman of in Congress outside of Jasmine Crockett. So I'm not again, a nothing burger in the sense of Gavin Newsom is no threat to anybody but himself. He's the kind of guy you have to tell at his age, please don't run with scissors. I mean, he is. He's a novice.
All right, have a nice day. My internet's down. My phone's busted back.
That's okay. But he is. I mean, I know people want him to be a story, but he's not. Just isn't a story. Gavin Newsom is, and it's also the summer, and news is scarce. That's why they're paying attention to him. Anyway. All right, we got to get to the news, and we'll get into so much more about this when we get to the headlines, folks. I'll spend some time on my 3rd news story. You don't want to miss it about Zohran Mamdani. Democrats are about to get on board because of this opinion piece by Mara Gay. Look it up. We'll tell you about it. It's time to get to some news in the WTIC newsroom. It is Dave Mager who's filling in for John Silva. We'll be back. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
88 degrees, 3 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High will stay in the upper 80s this afternoon with a possible thunderstorm. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. President Trump meets with Vladimir Putin of Russia tomorrow in Alaska. The topic, Russia's illegal, unprovoked invasion of Ukraine. The conversation does not include President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. Trump says he could be included in a second meeting.
The White House says it's because the president wants to feel out
Vladimir Putin first, get a sense of whether Putin is really serious about negotiations. But the concern among many Europeans is that Putin is still refusing to sit down with Zelensky, someone who he has always argued is an illegitimate leader of Ukraine.
CBS's Nancy Cordes reporting from Anchorage. Zelensky and European leaders say Russia must agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine before serious peace talks begin. The White House not backing down on Trump's military crackdown on Washington, D.C. Officials say there will be around-the-clock presence of federal law enforcement in the city. The Pentagon says the National Guard will not have the power of arrest. The crime rate in D.C. has been down, but Trump is now questioning the accuracy of those numbers. The state DOT and Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysowitz are calling for drivers to pay more attention to bicycles and vice versa. 6 bicycle riders have died in the state this year, already exceeding the annual totals for each of the previous 4 years. Part of today's back-to-school warning, the dangers of e-bikes. This is DOT Commissioner Garrett Euclid.
Riding an e-bike, the helmet law applies to everyone, no matter your age. So if you ride an e-bike, the law says you have to wear a helmet no matter what your age. And this change reflects how people are riding and getting around. Those e-bikes do go fast, so you need to really protect yourself.
In other news, a right-wing Israeli official announces new settlement construction in the West Bank. It's aimed at blocking plans for a future Palestinian state.
For more than 2 decades, Israel has postponed construction on an open area of land east of Jerusalem called E1. But amid plans by several European countries to recognize a Palestinian state in the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem, Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich today announced plans to build 3,000 homes in E1, saying it will bury the idea of a Palestinian state. About 500,000 Jewish settlers already live in the West Bank, along with more than 250,000 in East Jerusalem.
CBS's Linda Gradstein reporting. Wholesale inflation soared last month, with Trump tariffs partly to blame.
The Labor Department index that measures inflation before it hits consumers rose 0.9% from June, the biggest jump in more than 3 years. Wholesale prices increased by 3.3% compared with a year earlier. The government reported this week consumer prices last month rose 2.7% from a year earlier. That was the same as the previous month. The 2 sets of numbers suggest producers may, for now, be eating the tariff costs rather than passing them on to customers. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow is down 62 points. S&P dropping 2 points. The NASDAQ is down 4 points. And we check the WTIC forecast.
For the rest of this afternoon, we will see a mix of clouds and sun. There will be a thunderstorm around in a few spots, otherwise humid out there. Any thunderstorm can bring torrential downpours, possibly leading to flash flooding, especially in urban areas. The high this afternoon, 88. Then we'll be drying out tonight under a partly cloudy sky, low 65. Sunny to partly cloudy and less humid tomorrow as we head up to a high of 86. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
88 degrees and partly cloudy now. Sports, the Mets home for Atlanta. The Yard Goats at Duncan Park against Harrisburg. Fairfield won its opener last night at the Little League World Series and will play Hawaii in the winner's bracket tomorrow, 7 p.m. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Men, summertime is here, and that means vacations, summer barbecues, outdoor parties, camping, beaches, and so much more. This is Dale for Northeast Men's Health, and if you're like many men, you may not be feeling like yourself this summer. Perhaps your energy is low and you aren't sleeping well. Maybe your workouts aren't as good as they used to be. Maybe even your sex drive is off. And if what I'm describing is you, it's very likely you're suffering with low testosterone. But low T doesn't have to affect you anymore. Just call Northeast Men's Health, get treated, and see how it changes your life. If you're like most men, you'll feel so much better. Deeper sleep, improved vitality and clarity, greater strength and energy, and an improved sex drive as well. So call us. Just $99 gets you a PSA and T test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-930-5956. That's 800-930-5956. Or go to northeastmenshealth.com. We have 6 offices across the Northeast to serve you, including our new office in Warwick, Rhode Island.
There's a new way to take charge of your blood sugar.
Thank you, sir.
Introducing new Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In Sync 23 while supplies last.
Reese on the radio, making sense of the news. Yeah, even when it makes no sense at all. Now on WTIC, News Talk 1080.
Let's get into these headlines. Looks like the Russiagate declassification documents are starting to get really good if you are paying attention to them. The latest tranche of declassified emails has the Obama DNI, James Clapper, telling the National Security Agency Director, Mike Rogers, essentially to shut up and put his name on the intelligence community assessment that Clapper and then CIA Director John Brennan were cooking up at Obama's direction to concoct a narrative that Russia had tilted the 2016 election to help Trump win. These are in new documents, which also lends into the fact that there are there's damning evidence that James Comey could be called in for perjury. I just watched a Senator Chuck Grassley conversation, or at least the Senate hearing, where James Comey was given testimony, and he lied about things that we know to be true today through whistleblower documents that say that he indeed was the leaker. He told Senator Chuck Grassley that he did not leak any information associated with Donald Trump in the investigation into Russia. So that's a problem. F that. That's not going to happen. Who said that? None other than Hunter Biden. He said that when he was on the Channel 5 show with Andrew Callaghan on Thursday, or today, I guess. Anyways, I guess it was streamed today, when he found out that First Lady Melania Trump may be suing him for suggesting that Trump met Melania through an introduction through Jeffrey Epstein. So he's saying, no, that's not going to happen. He's pushing back on it, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I don't know if she'll pursue it. I expect her to, but everyone else seems to be talking about it. She may just go after him. But you can't draw blood from a stone, so I don't know if that's going to mean anything at the end of the day. So he may be forced to apologize. I would just make him do that. In this story that, again, you should really pay attention to. And in a monologue I did about 3 weeks ago, I told you that this was going to happen. And that is that the Democrats will not have a choice but to align themselves with Zoran Mamdani. Even though plenty of people are saying, what, it's New York, it's the mayor's race, nobody cares. I told you, yes, they did. It is the most famous city in the world. It is the capital of the world, New York City. Regardless of its politics and how horrible it's become there, I wouldn't set foot on that damn city. However, New York is New York. I don't have to like it to know the truth. And Democrats are about to go on board, or get on board, with the Mamdani train. Why? Here's why. New York Times opinion writer Maura Gay writes today that former President Barack Obama called the New York mayoral candidate, Zoran Mamdani, according to Jeff Lerner, Mamdani's communication director. Jeff Lerner says Zoran embodies thoughtful leadership, moral courage, and a unique ability to inspire hope in those who've been left behind in politics as usual. Why did Jeffrey Lerner say this? He said it because he was comparing Zoran to his former boss, Barack Hussein Obama. Jeffrey Lerner, who is Mamdani's communication director, served at the Southern Regional regional political director in the White House Office of Political Affairs during the first 2 years of the Obama administration. He later became the political director of Democratic National Committee during President Obama's 2012 reelection campaign. Barack Obama is in talks with Zohran Mamdani, probably giving him guidance, which means that many Democrats, in seeing Barack Obama kind of giving an endorsement, also, there are some other people who have also called Mamdani that are from the Obama circle. One in particular is none other than David Axelrod of CNN. And you know David Axelrod, he was the campaign manager for Barack Obama. So behind the scenes, there are people in Obama world who are talking to Zohran Mamdani because they know he's important, and they believe that he has political acumen, and he's got some steam behind him. Democrats are soon to jump on board. You best believe it. This will give license to everybody else to jump on the socialist train. They've got nothing else, folks. And like I said about Fazio and Aaron Stewart shying away from Donald Trump, no Democrat has been able to separate themselves from Zohran Mamdani, an admitted socialist. They don't even separate from Bernie Sanders or Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. They embrace them. And you're afraid to embrace Trump? You believe that he's more of a political liability than a guy who wants to create government grocery stores, putting bodegas out of business? If these guys are fearless, what's your problem? And it goes to, and again, it justifies people being apprehensive about your candidacy. You understand that there's logic behind this. And if you got those people in your head telling you, yeah, why wouldn't you shut up? Get rid of those people. Those people should be telling you what you can do and what you should do. Not pushing back. If you've got a great idea, if you want to reach out to people who know that things are a little bit crazy out here in the world, those are the people you have to reach. And you need to be making cases for Donald Trump, not against him. It never works for people who go against him. Now let's go to the stupidest thing I've read today.
Yes, you do. Stupid as can be. This could very well be the stupidest person on the face of the earth.
Puerto Ricans. Puerto Ricans, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? If you are Puerto Rican, what are you afraid of? Are you going to get deported to America? Puerto Rico's America. According to the folks over at NPR, they sure seem to think so. Puerto Ricans are expressing fears as Connecticut ICE detainments ramp up. This week, the week that President Trump was inaugurated, Connecticut's Black and Puerto Rican caucus spoke out against what they say is racial profiling of Latino communities by Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Over the summer, reggaeton artist Bad Bunny publicly shamed ICE after witnessing a detainment on the island. Who did they detain on the island of Puerto Rico? A Puerto Rican? Because that would seem weird. Did anybody bother to ask? No, they didn't bother to ask. So they detained somebody on the island in Puerto Rico, and Bad Bunny, who's clearly astute in politics and immigration, didn't ask the question about where the guy's from. Yeah, okay. Add Wesleyan alum and legendary New Yorican Lin-Manuel Miranda, who recently turned the 10th anniversary of his Broadway hit Hamilton into a fundraiser for immigrants. Here in Connecticut, he says that Puerto Ricans are increasingly standing with their fellow Latinos against the immigration crackdown. Should Puerto Ricans get deported to Puerto Rico? What is going on? What is going on? Either NPR thinks Puerto Ricans are stupid, or they're right. Just somebody explain it to me. Now, I have to tell you this. This is really, really true. What dovetails from this article is our good friend Chris Powell writes at chrispowellcolumn.com, why can't journalists pose immigration questions? He says, nothing else well explains how TV news reporters cover another protest against immigration law enforcement last week. This one at City Hall in New Britain. No protesters denied the most of the people recently apprehended and detained by the Federal Immigration and Custom Enforcement agents in Connecticut were in the country illegally. Instead, all the talk at the protest was about how unfair it is for illegal immigrants to have to obey the law. So, should there be no immigration law? That's what Chris asked. No one, quoted by the TV reporter, was asked. And yet, for viewers watching closely, the video showed the story the reporter was failing to pursue. Signs and banners carried by the protesters read, and I quote, "No borders, no cages, no ICE, no more deportation, and abolish ICE, no detention, no deportation." Protesters even carried Palestinian flags and chanted, "Free, free Palestine." What exactly did Palestine have to do with immigration and law enforcement? But no one asked. And they don't. And of course, NPR doesn't. They said, see, all Hispanics care about the deportation. Because again, if you're Hispanic, you're a monolith. And Puerto Ricans, which we know, by the way, is garbage. It's nonsense. Everybody knows it's nonsense. Anybody who knows Puerto Ricans, and I know a lot of you do, they are not standing around going, yeah, this deportation thing, man, I'm feeling a little nervous. It's not happening. Anybody who tells you it does is lying or an idiot. Mrs. DeBarro says, I'm Puerto Rican and MAGA. Damn right, I know a lot. Go to the Bronx. Go to the Bronx. Not that I'm telling you to go to the Bronx. Bronx is still the Bronx. But they love Trump up there. You got deported to Connecticut. How do you feel about it? I didn't get deported. I came willingly. Yes, Mrs. DeBarro says, laugh out loud, Puerto Rico is a commonwealth. We are citizens. Yes, I mean, that's my whole point. That's why it's the stupidest thing I read today. The Puerto Ricans, like, what are you trying to suggest? And it's like the reader wouldn't know any better. Everybody who I know has read this has said the same thing. What? Wait, what? No one thinks this. No one does. So, yeah, those are your headlines. Absolutely. Donald says, Reese, you are ranting and raging because none of the Republicans can beat the gov. I don't think that that's necessarily true. You really think that Ned Lamont has a 63% approval rating? Do you really do? Okay. If one of these people were to get in touch with me, trust me, and not that I'm putting myself out there, trust me, I want no parts of this. I don't want any parts of this. But if you want to win, whoever's telling you to do it the way that you're doing it, taking photo ops with the governor, playing nicey nice, being footsie with Democrats, they don't care about you. They go on camera every day ripping you to shreds with no fear, no concern that they are going to radicalize others. They will sooner say that about any other group in the world. They say it about terrorist organizations. They say it about Black Lives Matter. You better say Black Lives Matter or you're just going to make more of them mad. But they never think that about conservatives. Even though they see the number of conservatives growing, what do? They see the number of African-American men joining the Republican ranks. What do they say about African-Americans? Do they start appealing to them? We're sorry. Oh, we didn't want to radicalize you. What do we have to do? Give you jobs? Do you want more Section 8? What are we going to do? No. They call them sellouts and Uncle Toms to radicalize more of them. Think about that. Has that ever dawned on you? Has it ever reached your brain to say, yeah, these guys never seem to tone down the rhetoric when it comes to us, but we're always made to. Everyone's always telling us how we need to behave. They're always screaming and hollering about political correctness, yet they could call us Nazis and traitors. They can say, in fact, there's a video today, a woman who's saying that she doesn't want to do business with anyone who's MAGA. Eminem saying that you shouldn't buy or listen to his music. Howard Stern over on Sirius saying don't listen to his radio show if you're MAGA. Can you imagine if a Christian said, I don't want any Muslims shopping here? No, they would tell us that we were insane. Can you imagine if somebody like Reverend Jacob Dell was to turn around and say, I'm sorry, homosexual community, you can't come and receive the word of the Lord at my church. What would you folks do? But yet, and again, here's the thing. It's not so much about telling me, well, I'm not like that, Reese. I don't care. What are you doing to denounce it? Whatever happened to silence is violence? Whatever happened to that? What happened to not addressing it? Remember what the Catholic community said? Do you remember what the Archdiocese said? Was it 20 years now they finally admitted that their silence about the Holocaust may have been ill-advised? Even they acknowledged it after the fact. Maybe we should have got involved. But you guys never get involved. Do you remember that young lady? What was her name? Annie Dufresne? Was that her name? That young lady who had to quit her job after she was on TikTok talking about, I will end you. Don't think it's over. You think because you voted for MAGA, I won't put you in a body bag. Republicans were up in arms. How is this woman still with a job? Democrats didn't come out and denounce her. They stayed quiet. Yeah, I didn't got anything to do with that. Yeah, that was, that's her, Yes, sometimes we got some. No. But let one of ours call Barack Obama a Muslim. We got to come out and hold a press conference. We apologize. That was somebody who was at our event. We did not schedule that. Remember when the guy from Kill Tony was at Madison Square Garden talking about, speaking of Puerto Rico, called it in a floating garbage bin? Remember that? Oh, my goodness. Remember that? The entire Trump administration, the entire Trump campaign. Yeah, that was unfortunate. Yes, he was just there to tell jokes. We denounced that. Everybody, if we're a Republican, everybody has to call, hey, have you denounced what he said, that Kill Tony guy? Huh? But no one makes you. We had a guy show up at the Arlington baseball field waiting for Republicans to kill them. To kill them. Why? Because his Facebook page was littered with Republicans are killing people because they wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. This man sought out to murder people and almost succeeded. He even shot Capitol police officers who were there as a security detainee. Even shot them. Were Democrats crawled onto the carpet to admonish such behavior? Was everybody made to have to answer to Chuck Schumer and you will reap the whirlwind? Or Maxine Waters, you go out there and you get in their faces. Oh, and don't forget, she also said, draw a crowd. Get in their faces. Tell them they're not welcome here. Were Democrats called to the carpet and made to admonish her words? Maxine sometimes can be a little bombastic. No. Do you denounce them? We need to tone it down. Remember when Joe Biden said at the NAACP annual meeting, unchain economics. It's going to put y'all back in chains. Remember that? Were Democrats called out to denounce old Joe Biden? No, they brought out Charlie Rangel, who stood right and said, no, of course, listen, what he said was unfortunate. I would have advised he said something like that. That was, Joe Biden tends to say things that are a little off the beaten path. No. Everybody made excuses. Nobody was held accountable. So I'm not doing it. Screw that. Make them live by the same standards. In fact, screw that. Don't live by the standards. If they get to do it, and they do every day, everything is racist, everything is bigoted, everything is homophobic, everything is. They get to call anybody who doesn't agree with them anything that they want. I'm done. Shouldn't you be? What are you playing nice for? Nobody's playing nice for you. You're the guys bringing a wiffle ball bat to a gunfight. Republicans, with all due respect. And this isn't about getting down to their level. This is about calling them out on their rhetoric. Why does everybody have to be a Nazi? You're the one trying to keep everybody from owning a gun, like the Nazis did. Why does everybody have to be a Nazi? The Nazis were the ones who had universal health care. Isn't that where you stand? Why does everybody have to be a Nazi? Didn't the Nazis start the whole political correctness and censoring speech? Isn't that you guys? Stop being chumps. Just stop. You want these people to respect you in the Republican Party? Hell, even some Democrats will see that you got a backbone, because that's what they need. There are Democrats in the state of Connecticut that are watching these lunatics stand over highway overpasses and singing songs with guitars. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Let them do it for you. They've got all this embarrassment that one could possibly have. Stop joining them. Stop trying to sound more like them. Because trust me, they're paying attention. They are. Your Republican constituents, they're watching you. And if you look like them, you are them. Perception is 90% truth. I learned that. First day in corporate America. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More news, more views, and we'll get your phone calls. It's Reese On The Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
Hey, how'd you get your water heater fixed so fast?
Aiello Home Services, same-day plumbing. I gave them a call, and they had a plumber on their way. They even sent the plumber's real-time location, so I knew when they would be here.
Did you say same day? That's crazy.
If you need same-day plumbing, call, click, or text today and say, hello, Aiello. Call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P102776688, S104062441, S3308699, SM3004646, E1185643.
There's a lot happening in Washington and in your local neighborhood. Follow WTIC News Talk 1080 on the Odyssey app to keep up with the latest.
Do you have a dark curiosity? Heart Starts Pounding, Horrors, Hauntings, and Mysteries is a weekly podcast hosted by me, Kaylin Moore. Each week, I'll take you on a dark journey through terrifying true urban legends, bizarre true crime cases, chilling tales of backwoods horror, and more. So if you're looking to join a passionate community of the darkly curious, check out Heart Starts Pounding on the free Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, stay curious.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
And now, a WTIC news update.
88 degrees at 3:30. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High in the upper 80s this afternoon. Possible thunderstorm. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. President Trump meets with Vladimir Putin of Russia tomorrow in Alaska. The primary topic, Russia's invasion of Ukraine, although the Kremlin says Putin plans to expand the talks to include nuclear arms control and U.S.-Russia economic links. The conversation will not include President Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine. Trump says Zelensky could be included in a second meeting, depending on how this one goes.
You've heard President Trump say that he wants a second meeting with all three leaders to happen, quote, almost
immediately. But though he has caveated in an interview earlier this morning, said that there is a 25% chance that this meeting on Friday will not be successful. So he's lowering expectations to an extent.
CBS's Aaron Navarro. Zelensky and European leaders say Russia must agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine before serious peace talks begin. The state congressional delegation says facilities at the Coast Guard Academy in New London are aging and falling apart. Members are calling on the Guard to come up with a plan to improve campus facilities. They cite health and safety risks, including a report about ongoing mold and air quality problems at the academy. Air Canada is canceling flights as it locks out flight attendants who voted to strike. Mark Nasser is with the airline.
We have begun this morning a gradual suspension of Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge operations. All flights will be paused by Saturday early morning.
The airline says it could take a week to fully restart operations once they're suspended. A mural set for completion next month will celebrate more than 30 years of the Hartford Marathon and its community connections. It's on the side of a parking garage at 75 Pearl Street in Hartford. This year's race is set for October 11th. On Wall Street, U.S. wholesale prices rose much more than expected in July. The Dow is down 17 points. S&P climbing about 1 point. The NASDAQ is down 8 points. And we check the WTIC forecast.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we will see times of clouds and sunshine. There will be a thunderstorm around in a few spots. Humid out there as well. Storms can bring torrential downpours, possibly leading to flash flooding, especially in any urban areas. The high this afternoon up to 88 degrees, partly cloudy and humid tonight as we start to dry out. Low 65. Tomorrow turns out nice, sunny to partly cloudy skies and turning less humid. With a high tomorrow 86, a few clouds around tomorrow night, low 69. Then high pressure building overhead will set up a nice start to the week. And Saturday, a beautiful day, sunny to partly cloudy skies and humid, high of 85. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
88 degrees now. Sports, the Mets home for Atlanta. The Yard Goats home to play Harrisburg. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Viking, dedicated to creating travel experiences for the thinking person, with programs designed for cultural enrichment on board and on shore. Discover more at Viking.com. That's Viking.com. Viking.com.
Paul's new drone startup just lost its most genius computer scientist.
We just lost our best genius to some new genius who's got a genius new idea. I'm going to have to find a new genius, or two half geniuses, and fast.
He needs a computer scientist that can keep his startup from falling down.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply, stop to opt out.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand.
Hey,
space.
You ain't gonna see
affects every part of your life.
your shows, your hours today because it's not recording in the system. So I got to reach out to Bob.
Expected directions that it can take. It's times
How's he doing,
like
by the way?
this
Any
that
better?
you need a partner.
He don't really talk that much anymore, so I don't know.
To connect with the
And I'm not gonna pry, obviously.
and the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Text TOUGH99 to 32 32 32. TOUGH 99 to 32 32 32. Tough 99 to 323232. Jenna Heiler, licensed in Connecticut. CordellCordell.com.
2 years ago, Bobby Carpenter completed treatments for knee pain at QC Kinetics. So we're checking in with the former college and pro football player to see how he's doing.
I've been asked a lot, like, how long does this last? How long does it work? I go, I've had mine for a couple years, and everything feels very good. It feels just as good as it did when I started to turn the corner.
Bobby's an active husband, dad, and business owner. That's why 2 years ago, he heard about QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative treatments, and he knew he could trust them for his chronic knee pain.
And thankfully, with QC Kinetics, I was able to go through this, and my activities are the same as it was. I'm able to coach my kids in sports. I can play golf. I can go run.
QC Kinetics patients like Bobby don't miss a beat. No surgery or rehab, just freedom from debilitating joint pain. Ready for lasting relief from joint pain? Call QC Kinetics today for your complimentary consultation and see if you're a good candidate.
Call QC Kinetics, 860-440-PAIN. That's 860-440-PAIN. 860-440-PAIN.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/fax or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio.
Finding great
Thank
candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now you can try.
Thank you.
That's right. Free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Fan of WTIC? Then do us a favor. Download the free Odyssey app and favorite WTIC.
All right, we're back. It's Reese on the Radio. Do not miss today's Negro Nonsense. It is really, really good, and it's long, so I got a whole bunch of stuff to get into. And it is based upon an article I did in my Substack a couple of weeks ago about Charlemagne the God and this newfound interest in hip-hop and African-Americans' take on politics. It looks like many people in the hip-hop era arena are becoming political pundits, and Charlemagne the God appears to be leading the way for a lot of your average folks. They tend to go to him when he makes a poignant remark that satisfies their intellect or their ideology in some way. I laugh at it because I think it's funny that anyone takes these folks seriously. One of which I'm going to play today, one of the people on that show I used to work with. And it's funny listening to them because, as I said yesterday about living in the hood, I recognize this hood nonsense in this hood approach to politics. It's never changed. It's always the same. There isn't a new thought in the urban sphere when it comes to politics. They are dyed-in-the-wool progressives no matter what. And when I play this for you, you will know exactly what I'm talking about if you didn't before. So stay tuned for that. It is the most embarrassing thing to listen to. Again, not because people think they're saying something and they're not. You know, I love this line by Talib Kweli. Just because no one understands what you're saying doesn't mean that what you're saying is deep. And that's what these people think. They think they're deep. They're not deep thinkers. They're just regurgitating leftist, white, progressive ideology. And they don't know it. They scream and holler about racism, but yet they do exactly what the white man tells them. They just do. They just do. Speaking of Mamdani, on Dana, what's her name? Dana, whatever her name is. I don't know. Don't care. Over at CNN, talking to David Axelrod and Rahm Emanuel. One guy who actually was the head of a presidential campaign, and another one who's possibly running for president of the United States, Rahm Emanuel, talking to Dana, whatever her name is, over at CNN about Zohran Mamdani and David Axelrod's phone call to Zohran Mamdani.
Sneaking a quick break, but you spoke with Mamdani.
I did.
Anything you want to report?
No, I mean, I found him to be very bright, very thoughtful. We talked about some of these issues that Rahm raised, but the thing that struck me more than anything else was that he was a pretty good listener, and he was interested, and it suggested to me that this is a guy who's going to grow.
As a former mayor, one of the pieces of the job is not only, there are a couple things. One, analyze the problem the public is facing, address it, and two, having a personality and that fills the office and looks like you own the office, not the office owns you, and he's pulling that off.
And that's clear. Just sitting with him, you can see that.
Who's going to come back to me later on and say, damn, Reese, you were right. Do it now. It's my birthday. There's David Axelrod being asked, do you have anything to report? Which is his job to do. What did he do? He whiffed. Well, it seems like a joke. Because no one's going to criticize him anymore. They got their marching orders. You best believe it. You best believe they got their marching orders. And we'll see we'll see what happens. Let me take I'll take Jim in Willington real quick. What's going on, sir?
I'll tell you what, if Mamdani wants to lose, a guaranteed loss if he lets Obama or anybody around him even get close to it.
Right. He should not. Right. This is true. You're 100% right. Historical fact right here. Barack Obama has a losing record when he endorses a candidate. He is absolute poison.
Well, you forgot the one word before losing. He has a historical record of losing.
Yes, a historical record of losing. He is not, well, I'll put it this way. He's really not good on midterm elections when endorsing people. Neither was Joe Biden for that matter, but, that's par for the course.
And he has absolutely no, I don't believe he has any kind of real juice in the party, because if he did, he certainly could have shoehorned Hillary Clinton in one way or the other.
That's true.
He certainly could have shoehorned Biden out earlier and put Harrison, and none of that happened.
But Jim, aren't they? But Jim, not to cut you off, I apologize, but look, I mean, you and I know this. We follow this, probably like everybody else. We're wonks in this. But when you really look at the field, right? There's so much back and forth and infighting going on in the field. Mamdani, because of the way in which he dispatched Andrew Cuomo, which again is a legacy candidate, the way in which he did, he really looks like the only real winner Democrats have in any elections.
Yeah, let me say something about that. AOC won with a very small number of people voting.
True.
And the fact that the guy she beat, the Democratic guy she beat, just got too lazy.
Yeah.
So I don't buy it for a minute. Just because Mamdani he won the primary or whatever. I said it on your show before, and I'll stop talking as soon as I make my last point.
Okay.
I don't believe for 1 minute that any common sense Democrat that right now is being very quiet and letting the lunatics, or what I call third-rate politicians, run the party's message. I don't believe for 1 minute they want this guy to win.
You don't think so?
They may conjure up to him. They may give him money, all of it. But at the end of the day, the last thing they need is New York City being like San Francisco and Los Angeles. But, hey, I could be naive. I don't know.
I think, to be honest with you, look, this is one of those elections in New York that the big party politics may not play a role because they really, the people who are the power brokers in like the 92nd Street Y folks, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with those folks, but those people really are like, they're the guys. Now, I'll admit, Staten Island, by the way, you should watch that video of him going to Staten Island. Boy, did he get cursed out. It's the most conservative of all the 5 boroughs. They cursed him out of town. But the rest of the place, he's got a big shot or a real shot, because the Upper West and the Upper East Side elites who pretty much run party politics up there, they don't like Eric Adams. They're done with, they don't like Andrew Cuomo because of the whole allegations of, sexual impropriety. Mamdani, for them, they think he's a Muslim Obama. But I repeat myself.
You said it. You said it.
Yeah.
They can't come up with a halfway decent candidate and rolling out Cuomo and everybody else. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? If he wins, God bless him. But they're going to get exactly what they voted for.
But Jim, if you're like me, call me a little sadistic, and I'll take that. I'll take being accused of being sadistic in this, politically sadistic. I kind of want New York to feel that wrath. Maybe it's bitterness, but I kind of feel like this.
That's what I'm telling you. They're going to get exactly what they voted. It's funny. The people that vote, if they vote him in, aren't going to be the people this guy's talking about helping. And at the end of the day, they're going to get the voters in New York City are going to get exactly what they voted for.
Oh, yeah.
If that guy wins.
And it's funny because there are a lot of people around who are just going to be pointing their fingers saying, "We told you so."
Sir. Yes, sir.
So,
yep.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Yes, sir.
You got it. Look, again, that's exactly what's going to happen, in a sense of New Yorkers think that Mamdani is the kind of guy that is outside the box that New York needs. It isn't even really about progressive. Andrew Cuomo has overstayed his welcome in New York. And even if you're on the left, you probably still don't like the way Cuomo dealt with COVID. So, again, he's been around too long. He just has. And the Cuomo name, there comes a point where, that's also kind of the body politic today. If you've got a name that's recognizable and is part of the legacy, that gets rejected in the new world, right? It's like Cuomo, Bush, those names, Kennedy, those things get pushed aside. We've had enough of that. We need new. So that's why you're having that happen. And Mamdani in New York City may be that perfect storm. So they may get it. But remember what I told you. Now I want you to think about this. And this is absolutely irrefutable. Back to the opening monologue. You have Ryan Fazio last year who doesn't want to talk about Trump. You got Aaron Stewart, a little apprehensive about talking about Trump. And then you have Democrats, when asked about Mamdani, they immediately switch off. They do not criticize him. They talk about how he's captured the Democrat Party, how he's addressing the problems. He's got his finger on the pulse of affordability. Even a blind dog can find a bone. Affordability, you don't have to be politically astute to know that that's what people care about. It's like, at what time in our history, in politics, have people not been concerned about affordability? Like, what country, what planet are you from? He hasn't tapped into something. He has no savant in that realm. But they are fearful of criticizing him. He's really tapped in. Fazio's never said that about Donald Trump. He's really tapped into where conservatives are going. It's, I don't want to really get into that. There's a difference. There's a difference. Oh, I've talked to him. He and I are having conversations about some of the things and issues that I have, but won't condemn him. You have to think about that. How are these folks able to get away with not outwardly endorsing the guy? While you, on the other hand, have got, I don't know. You're doing all of that. It really, really looks silly. Pick your poison or get out. with all due respect, get out. You want to win, right? I'm assuming you do. So you're going to have to develop a strategy, and your strategy cannot be hiding. Are you a Republican? Yes. So is Donald Trump. There's no middle ground. There isn't. You want to win as a moderate, then run as a moderate. Run as an independent. But you want Democrats, you want Democrats to support you, be a Democrat. If you want Republicans to support you, you're going to have to get on board. You just do. I know you don't think that you do, but think about it. Think about the places where people won. Look at the places where people are winning. Look around you. If you can believe in yourself, believe in yourself. I don't know what to tell you. We'll get back. More calls and much more of this. We got weather and traffic coming up as well. Between rounds coming up too. All right, stick around. Go nowhere. It's Reese on the Radio on WTIC News Talk 1080.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. Optima Tax Relief. Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, Joel Johnson here with Johnson Brunetti. Hey, retirement income. Are you sure that you're maximizing your retirement income? Get the retirement income checklist from us. Absolutely free. Text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. Again, call or text the word checklist to 1-800-705-1232. A checklist to maximize your retirement income.
Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Being injured in an accident can leave you feeling vulnerable and lost. You need a fast and fair resolution and a law firm that can protect you. At Brown, Payne, Dearest & Scott, our team of personal injury lawyers have over 100 years of combined experience and will treat you with respect and dignity. If you've been injured, BPS lawyers are here to help. At BPS Lawyers, you get more than a lawyer. You get a full-service law firm. Call us at 860-CALL-BPS or visit bpslawyers.com. Bruce Newman is responsible for the content of this ad.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20%.
Here we go.
% senior or
Yes,
military
sir.
discount. 1 discount per household.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Yeah, in a little bit, we'll come back and we will have your between rounds winner. We'll get to them as well. We've got to talk about how Hamas turned kids into terrorists. That's a crazy thing because I just read that and that was like, what? What the heck is this? And yeah, it's a story I saw yesterday. We'll talk a little bit about that. We're taking your phone calls, of course, on this governor's race and the Republicans that are running in it. The question that I had today, are Republicans helping? I'm sorry, here's the question. Are they hurting Republicans by running, Fazio and Stewart, or are they helping Democrats by entering the race? And that's the question. We'll get to them. Now, I know there's some people who call in every day. I'm just going to ask if you guys can spread out the calls a little bit. All right, it's one of the biggest things that I always get from my bosses is that we do a lot of the same calls every day. Nothing against you guys, but I'm kind of like not trying to get on people's bad side. So let's give some other people some opportunities to call. With all due respect, I love you guys. I do, and I feel like we developed a relationship here. But I kind of want to give some other people some opportunities. So I don't want to be kind of a repeat of every show with the same folks. Nothing against you. I get that a lot, and unless I say it, people won't get it, and then I'm being rude because they feel like they've been on hold all day, and I don't like to lie to people, so I'm not going to lie to you, okay? So I'm just sort of give it some time, so get some other people in. Just trying to do that. Of course, because it's Negro nonsense, it is, and I'm wondering if I can find a way to gauge this. I wonder if we could actually check the ratings to see what it's like in the black community as far as rating is concerned on Thursday when I do Negro Nonsense. I am certain that our listeners grow in a considerable way on Thursdays because they always show up for this. It's like addicting. And I really do believe that I'm onto something here. I feel a sense of brilliance in this segment. You know, Rama, who's, riding with me way back in the days. I think Rama's been a supporter of Reese on the Radio for over 20 years. And Rama, if I'm wrong, let me know. I'm almost certain. Rama knows that I've been doing this segment on the show for a long time. And it is always something that I get text messages about when they see something that I should put in it is the most well-received segment on the program, which is why I do it. And I do what works. You got to give the people what they want. And I will tell you, even though I get a lot of crap for it from my African-American listeners and viewers, I know they want it. Can I put it to you this way? It's like describing it this way. Hey, do you want a drink? Nah, I shouldn't. Are you sure? It's aged bourbon. Nah, I shouldn't. I've got a long ride home. You know, I spent $4,000 on it. You should take a sip. I'll take a sip. They just can't help themselves. I'm sorry that I had to compare it to alcohol. The guy's been sober for 6 years. But that's what it is. They just can't resist. They can't resist. It's like fiending. It's like tapping the finger. I got to go to Reese on the Radio. Anyway, let's get some weather and traffic. I have no idea who's in for weather today. There's always somebody new. Maybe it's Matt. I don't know. We'll find out. But let's get to the BPS Traffic Center. Our good friend Mark Christopher in the BPS Traffic Center.
Tom Hanlon.
Tom, oh no, we got Tom O'Hanlon in today. I forgot Mark is off. Hey, Tom.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. 84 westbound getting reports of a crash approaching the river. In eastbound 84 is slowing down up through Parkville and into Hartford. On Route 2, we're stop and go from Wilbur Cross up into westbound 84. Road work on Route 2 on the eastbound side before exit 5A should be wrapping up there in just a few minutes. Wilbur Cross is okay. 91 southbound, some stop and go from Main Street to 84. And a crash in Middletown on 91 northbound between exits 18 and 20. The right lane shut down. Traffic and weather together on the 8s. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we will see times of clouds and sunshine. There will be a thunderstorm around at a few spots. Humid out there as well. Storms can bring torrential downpours, possibly leading to flash flooding, especially in any urban areas. The high this afternoon up to 88 degrees, partly cloudy and humid tonight as we start to dry out. Low 65. Tomorrow turns out nice, sunny to partly cloudy skies and turning less humid. With a high tomorrow 86, a few clouds around tomorrow night, low 69. Then high pressure building overhead will set up a nice start to the week. And Saturday, a beautiful day, sunny to partly cloudy skies and humid, high of 85. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
WTIC is celebrating 100 years on the air and 100 years of serving Connecticut. This is WTIC and WTIC FM HD2 Hartford, an Odyssey station.
88 degrees, 4 o'clock. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News. High will stay in the upper 80s this afternoon. Lows tonight in the mid-60s. The last time President Trump met with Vladimir Putin was in Finland in 2018. Trump famously sided with Putin over U.S. intel officials over Russia's interference with the 2016 election. Tomorrow, they meet again, this time in Alaska, as Trump pursues peace in Ukraine.
The meeting was just announced a week ago, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the prep is going very fast.
Because this was put together very quickly.
And a veteran diplomat says that's a big problem.
You can have all the great thoughts in the world, but if your process isn't right, you're not going to get anywhere.
Tufts University's Don Heflin says it should not start with the two presidents.
The Secretary of State and the Russian Foreign Minister should be meeting first.
And after lower level meetings.
Then what happens is that when both presidents go to the table, they've been briefed and they have briefing papers that say, okay, we've narrowed the issues down. These look like the 3 or 4 big issues, and this is what we think the other side will say. None of that's happened.
And the summit will likely yield little as a result.
This was always going to be for show to a certain extent.
Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Texas Democrats now say they will end their nearly 2-week walkout over Republicans' plan to redraw the state's congressional map in their favor. Now, Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom of California says his state will respond with a plan to redraw the California map to favor Democrats.
They want to rig these elections, and they want the power that gerrymandering provides, because they know what Donald Trump knows. He's going to lose the midterms. He knows de facto his presidency ends in 17 months.
The California map would need voter approval. Newsom is calling for a special election November 4th. A loss for conspiracy theorist Alex Jones in court. His assets will be liquidated to pay Sandy Hook families who successfully sued him for defamation.
A Texas state judge orders Jones to hand over all assets from Free Speech Systems, the parent company of his InfoWars brand, to a court-ordered receiver. Jones declared bankruptcy in 2022 after being ordered in 2 courts to hand over a combined $1.5 billion in the defamation case stemming from bogus claims that he made about the 2012 Sandy Hook school shooting. It's not clear if the sale will go through as ordered. Jones has filed numerous appeals to state and federal judges' decisions in the ongoing saga. Morgan Cunningham, WTIC 1080 News.
Before school starts, the state DOT and Lieutenant Governor Susan Bisowitz are calling for drivers.
A driver, please slow down and expect bikes to share the road with you. They are allowed to share the road. They need to be given space, at least 3 feet away from the biker. 6 bicycle riders have died in the state this year, above the recent average for an entire year. Millions are talking about Taylor Swift today. A new album announced as she appeared on the Kelsey podcast. CBS's Jolene Kent filed this report.
Sometimes we forget that she's not this entity. She is a human being. So it was nice to see her not only show that side of her, but to do it with a boyfriend, with a partner.
Brian West is a USA Today reporter who covers all things Taylor Swift.
Why do you think she chose to do this podcast and talk at such length?
It's an environment that she's really comfortable in, being seated next to Travis Kelce. And I think what we saw in those 2 hours is how they've just been 2 people who have fallen in love with each other.
Many social media sales have gone orange.
Oh, for the love of God, that was awful to endure.
Cover art. U.S. wholesale prices rose much more than expected in July, 0.9% over June. The Dow was down 11 points. S&P was plus 2. The NASDAQ minus 2 points. Sports, the Mets home for Atlanta tonight. The Yard Goats at Duncan Park against Harrisburg. And Fairfield won its opener at the Little League World Series in Pennsylvania and will play Hawaii in the winner's bracket tomorrow at 7 p.m. For more, check out WTIC.com. I'm Dave Mager, WTIC 1080 News.
Now there's a new way to take charge of your... Introducing New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula from the makers of the nation's best-selling garlic supplement. New Garlic helps maintain healthy blood sugar levels with clinically supported levels of garlic, plus a custom blend of vitamins and minerals, and it's odor-free. Take charge of your blood sugar with New Garlic Healthy Blood Sugar Formula. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
Seems like back to school happens earlier each year.
First day of school coming in hot.
And this year, my kids had massive supply lists.
Folders, notebooks, and pens. Oh, the humanity.
But Staples had everything I needed, with some items just 25 cents.
Watch the small print.
No. My back to school budget was saved by Staples Easy Button.
Everything for school, in stock and as low as 25 cents. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. NC 23 while supplies last.
It's Reese on the radio. And don't say we didn't warn you on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
Hey!
Savory, flavory, bagel, deli, and bakery. Between rounds, between rounds.
Hey, congratulations to Mr. Seth P. of Bloomfield. He is the winner of our Between Rounds contest to win a dozen bagels a month for 6 months, courtesy of Between Rounds, the Bagel Bakery and Sandwich Cafe, located in South Windsor, Vernon, and Manchester. I got to be honest, and somebody's got to tell me, if you won, after you get your first, dozen bagels, and then you finish them, because, of course, you got to wait a month before you get your new free ones, tell me that you don't run out and go buy some more. Because, trust me, I did. That's exactly what I did. How do you not? It's insane that you don't. But, yeah. So if you want to have an opportunity to win, you've got to go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com. That's REESE on the radio.com. Put all in your information there on the little form. Make sure you put in your birth date and your telephone number. Some people forget to put that there. Please put your birth date. I won't call you, I promise. Even if you ask, I won't bug you. You won't be bothered. And we'll send you a message. Well, I send you a message personally, by the way, to let you know that you won. And you must live in the state of Connecticut. You cannot have won in the last 6 months from today's date in order to participate, or in that case, in order to win. So you can try whatever you like. So go to ReeseOnTheRadio.com, REESE on the radio.com in order to win. All right. Coming up in a bit, we've got Negro Nonsense, more news and more views. For those of you who get mad, this is the reason why I do it.
Oh, don't feel too bad. Has to be this way. You see, the first war didn't change nothing for the Negro. But this one, gonna change everything. Whole lot of people just can't seem to fit into where things seem to be going. See, the black race can't afford you no more. Oh, there used to be a time we'd see somebody like you singing, clowning, yassa bossing.
Yeah, them days is over. Because you got Reese on the radio. Let's get some weather and traffic. Let's get to Mark Christopher. He's in the BPS Traffic Center. Hey, Mark.
Tom O'Hanlon.
Oh, Tom O'Hanlon. Damn it. Tom O'Hanlon.
I'm Tom O'Hanlon from the BPS Lawyers Traffic Center. On 84 westbound, there it is. We have a crash with 2 vehicles involved. That's westbound 84 between exits 54 and 51 in East Hartford. The right lane is taken out. 84 eastbound slowing down a bit, going up through Parkville and into Hartford. On Route 2, we're stop and go heading up into 84, especially with the accident working now. Road work on Route 2 wrapped up a while ago, right around the area of exit 5A. Wilbur Cross is okay. 91 southbound congested, exit 35A to 32. Route 3 is moving. 91 southbound's okay down to 95 in New Haven. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. WTIC News Talk 1080.
WTIC weather.
Well, as we head through the rest of this afternoon, we are going to see a mix of clouds and sunshine across the area. There will be a thunderstorm in a few spots as well. Rather humid out there. Any thunderstorm can bring torrential downpours, possibly leading to localized flash flooding. We'll have high this afternoon around 90 degrees, partly cloudy and still humid out there tonight, low 65. Tomorrow we'll see sunshine mixed with a few clouds, turning less humid as well, high up to 86. Then a few clouds around tomorrow night, low 69. High pressure builds overhead for the weekend, setting us up for a nice Saturday. We'll see sunny to partly cloudy skies. It will be a little bit humid out there Saturday with a high of 85. Right now it's 90 degrees in Farmington, 88 in Manchester, and 90 degrees in Hartford. This is meteorologist Isaac Longley in the WTIC Weather Center.
At Columbia Dental, we love to make kids smile. Our expert pediatric dentists specialize in children's dental care, making every visit fun and comfortable. Open 7 days a week. Call 860-645-0111 or visit columbiadental.com.
At Joe the Plumber, we've heard all the jokes about plumbers' pants and plumbers' butts. And just for the record, none of our very skilled technicians wear their pants that low. Except maybe Bob. Sorry, dude. Visit us at calljoetheplumber.com.
Here at ALO, we believe hearing solutions to your main drain problems shouldn't cost a thing. That's why we offer free mainline drain camera inspections and free estimates on sewer line repair or replacement. Contact the trusted professionals at ALO when you call, click, or text today and say, hello, ALO. Call for details. Licensed for safety. HIC 628926, P102776888, S104062241,
That's all right, Zach. Welcome to the show.
S3308699, SM3004646. E1185643.
Feel like everything's
1 minute.
Thank you.
California psychic.
And when you come on, I'm gonna run to the bathroom and run to my car. So don't go take no phones till I come back.
All right, you got it.
It's free. Experience the joy of certainty. California psychics.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my
Anton.
$1,000 hearing aid.
I
could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
It's Reese on the Radio on News Talk 1080 WTIC.
By the way, I have a programming note that I've got to change up. Remember what I told you, that on the 19th of August, Chester Boat Basin and Selden Cove on the 20th. It was the 19th and the 20th. 19th at Chester Boat Basin and Selden Cove on the 20th. So I just found out. I knew, but I had to check, and then I made sure, and it turns out that I actually have a prior engagement on the 19th that I must go to. I cannot miss it, and I have to be there at 10 o'clock. So there's no way I could be in two places at the same time and then come do the show. So it's impossible for me to do the 19th. So we got to do the 20th. So the 20th is at Selden Cove. Now, I'm going to get all the details that I can. I've got a lot of people talking about it, and a lot of people telling me that the only way you can get there is with the boat. If that's the case, I need to communicate with a couple of people. Some people have canoes, they have rowboats, and they have other stuff. We're going to work this out this weekend. So if you are intending to come, and again, I'm not asking anybody to come. This isn't a protest or a rally, anything like that. I am going there as a journalist to ask questions from the individuals who are there, the supervisor who are there, and I am there to take pictures and to record to see how the procedure of putting herbicides in the water is being done and to report back to you. Now, a lot of people want to come down there, but I don't want it to be misunderstood or misrepresented. This isn't a rally. That's not what I do. I'm not going over there, with some podium and, giving a whole bunch of speeches. I'm not there for that. I am there to find out what is being done and to ask questions and to get answers. That's it. That's my job as a journalist, because unfortunately, we cannot rely on some in the news media to do that. Some are, but not everyone. So I have to take it upon myself, and I can't ask them to do something I'm not willing to do myself. So I'm going to be there next week. It looks like we actually know where we're going to be living in Connecticut. It looks like that is indeed happening in November, so I'm very, very proud of that. Very happy. Very happy. And I want to send a shout-out to Bob and to Don, two allegedly African-American men that I want to get together with both of you gentlemen. I want to have a conversation with you. I want to sit down, just you and I, just the three of us. I want to sit down and I want to break bread with both of you. I think you need to sit down and have a conversation with Reese on the Radio. And let me explain why, if I may, for a minute. Kind of indulge me a bit. Let me explain why. You two don't get me. And it's fine. I'm okay with that. In fact, I'd rather you not get me. I'd rather you look at me and go, why is he like that? But I want you to go one step further than ask the question. I want you to get an answer. So if you want to, if you're willing, spend time with me in the next week when I'm up there. I'll be happy to break bread with you guys. Sit, I'll answer anything you want to ask. Get you to understand what I'm doing here. It's not a joke, believe it or not. I know you think it is. But what I'm doing here is not a joke. And maybe you'll get to understand my mission statement when you can look me in the eyes and I can talk to you. I don't need your fandom. I don't need your friendship. I'm not trying to woo you. Don't care to. But I'm inviting you anyway. Why? Because you need this conversation. You make a lot of assumptions about me and who I am and what I believe. Now I want to tell you to your face exactly who I am. One, to express to you, I'm not afraid. I'm not shielded behind some, white folks that want to protect me. I'm not shielded by any ideology. And again, I am not trying to be some shock jock. I used to have that job. But I want you to get an opportunity. And if you really, really want to talk, you'll take me up on it. I've got your Facebook contacts. I'll reach out. But that offer still stands. I don't rescind it. But let's make it happen this week. Okay? And for those of you who ever want to know, if you're apprehensive, like, what's that guy all about? I extend that to anybody. I do that a lot. I love my fans. I love my listeners in a way you'll never understand. I do this show a little differently than a lot of people do. I think outside of the box. I've been a big fan of radio all my life. I understand this medium probably better than I understand my relationships. I'm on my fourth marriage. Just letting you know. So, that offer is up there. Let's get to... What's that? Oh, okay. Let's get to the D.C. narrative. I want to talk about that a little bit before I get to your phone calls later on. And thank you, Raymond. Raymond knows me. Raymond knows me personally. He said, I know him personally. He's as real as it gets. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that. The check's in the mail. This D.C. thing is in and of itself moronic. Why? Because the more people open their mouth about their issue with Donald Trump, many people believe that if you make it about Donald Trump, you don't have to make it about murder. You don't have to make it about assaults, carjacking, violence. People in fear. Make it about Donald Trump. They won't pay attention to all the other stuff. Right? Because people, and there's a belief system out there that if I can make this about Trump, people will ignore the bullets flying past them. That they will subdue their visceral reaction to the crime in D.C. if I make their focus about Donald Trump. I'm willing to accept it. Yes, I saw a guy get murdered yesterday, but Trump. Yes, there are vagrants who will rob you at knife point, and women are not safe at night in D.C., but Trump. That's the objective. And again, you don't have to leave it to me. All you have to do is listen to these folks. That's what these folks are saying. Let's go with the leader of the Democrat Party, or at least one of them, Chuck Schumer. You tell me if you're on the left if you believe this. And again, it's all ridiculous. To make it even crazier, I'll lead the witness. Listen to what the interviewer asked Chuck Schumer before Chuck Schumer gives his ridiculous answer in saying Republicans are saying it's dangerous in D.C. Really? Just the Republicans?
A lot of folks on the Republican side, your Republican colleagues, say that they are very scared to walk outside in D.C., that they think this is completely the right thing to do. Senator, are you scared walking around Washington, D.C. these days?
I walk around all the time. I wake up early in the morning sometimes and take a nice walk as the sun is rising around some of the Capitol and the other monuments and things, and I feel perfectly safe. They're full of it.
They're full of it. He walks around safe in D.C. early in the morning, walking around the monuments, Chuck Schumer says. And again, you heard the question. Your Republican colleagues are saying that it's dangerous. Like crime is a partisan issue. Like the thugs in D.C. or that of the likes of James Hodgkinson from the Midwest, who shot Steve Scalise. Like the thugs are walking through the neighborhood. Yo, my man. Hey, yo, my man. Yeah. Yo. Come here. Yo, you vote for Trump? Nah? All right. Go ahead. Who you vote for? Kamala? You good. Hey, yo, my man. Yo, who you vote for? You vote for who?